money that we don't have.
Yeah,
Is that right?
we do a couple more of those.
That's it. Well, we can discuss that.
People food truck Fridays.
Well, like quarterly, right? We want to do every other one? So,
No, I wasn't gonna, because it's not through Kroll, it's through whoever
Yeah.
runs the farmers,
Yeah, that's that Lexus.
Lexington.
I'm just thinking. Oh, you're thinking about one that you saw?
Yeah, we were throwing, three of us throwing around.
Absolutely would, but I don't.
Farmers
think-
market.
I think they will try to charge us rather than.
Well, all right, that's, all right. That's something you guys want to talk about. We'll discuss, let me
We'll
discuss.
talk about it later.
I'm gonna start the
Yeah,
meeting.
you can. Go right ahead, my friend, whenever you're ready.
Good evening. It is 5:30, whatever date this is.
For the 18th, March 18th.
And I'm going to call a meeting to order. Dog park meeting, verify attendance. We did. We have a quorum. I would like to have a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll motion.
Second. You got that there?
Mhm.
Okay. Motion set to all in favor, aye. All right. Then the next thing we have is action discussion items, approval of the minutes.
You want to do the owner's comments first? We have them on top. We did. These comments? Owner's comments. So we have some owners here.
Are we going to do them first?
Let's do that first.
Okay.
Stop.
All right, we're gonna move it around a little bit, take owner's comments first. Any comments?
Yeah, I just appreciate how fast everything seems to be moving
Fine.
since the last meeting, so I just want to say thank you for the work on that.
Yeah, good thing, because I only accept positive comments.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I just appreciate the work and the committee here, so thank you so much.
Well, I think you'll get some good news tonight.
I know.
Stick with us. Any other comments? Okay,
So I can document that. Can you please state your?
Oh, sure.
Please.
Anthony?
Okay.
You know, it's long one, but it's still.
No, wait, thank you, my friend. I just want to make sure we had it in the mini minutes. My friend.
okay, so I'm gonna go right to the approval of the minutes from February 20th.
I'll motion.
I have motion seconded, got the names?
Yes, sir.
All those in favor? Aye. All right. March 14th, food truck. We had a nice time. Three of us were there from 4:30. I left at 7:30. These guys stayed after.
I was there till like, you left a little bit earlier. I was there till like 8:15, 8:20-ish.
And it was better than I expected. And we sold over $30 worth of merchandise, which is good. But a couple of people came up and talked to us. As usual, we had people who don't live here. And they were interested in, you know.
And a couple of people asked how they could get into the dog park, and I said, buy a house.
Yeah.
I'll give you some realtor information, some loan officers, and ranches. How
They're
about?
like, oh,
Actually, that's probably 2/3 of the people who addressed us. That was the issue. You know, they like what we do. It's a great amenity. We haven't had nothing negative about it. So all in all, I'd like to really thank Sue and Jill for being there with me, keeping me company, because at 4:30 it was hot.
oh boy. It
Mm,
was a bit toasty. Even Lily was toasty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we had her little girlfriend who kept us company.
Fun time.
Okay. So that's all we need to do on that. The shade structure,
So
Alright.
let me put in a 2 cents about the
which one?
food truck Friday.
Oh, okay.
Since, before we roll on past that. I think us being at Food Truck Friday was a good thing. We should have probably at some point remembered to have at least some dog park applications. We don't need a whole stack, but a few might be a good idea, because I don't think we had any.
Or even just a QR code that leads to a PDF that they can print out.
That's a battle that I have. fight. You know how long it took me to get the QR code to do our incident reports? So we're just gonna roll past that for the moment. One day, I have a dream. Anyway, I thought it was a really good idea, and I think that once more people know where Food Truck Friday has moved to, that it'll have more foot traffic, but it seemed like it was, just overall a good place for people to be and stuff, and I had tasted food I hadn't had before, so.
Yeah, for something that really wasn't advertised that much, they had a good crowd there, and it will probably improve because it's actually a better place.
Is it
East
not
Park.
exciting?
No, it's over at the field, so
Soccer fields,
where the dog park is, keep on going.
Oh, my.
When you hit grass,
Okay.
you found it.
seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
they were in like the park, and there's a lot more places to park now. They used lot D,
Yeah, lucky. That-
whatever.
Except B,
Oh, no, no,
That's
no,
me.
not B.
maybe,
Dog park.
So there was a lot more spaces to park, like obviously downtown, sometimes it's a challenge to find any parking on Food Truck Friday. So I really appreciated that.
I felt that all in all, it was safer if you have kids that are doing their thing,
Yeah.
because there's just not that kind of traffic like we can get
I
on
didn't feel.
Front Street. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to add that for the records.
well noted.
And I think we should do it again.
Oh, I
I
definitely
do too.
bring it up, but wrong.
Although I won't be.
Yeah, we could do it now. Might as well do it now. I think we're gonna do it like once a quarter.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Are you going to look for, are you going to talk about maybe getting different shade or different placement of the tent or?
Well, so I talked with Danny and Nikki about the placement of the tents, and where we were, the sun kind of came up and just stayed hot, even though we were under the tent, we was in the sun. Had we been, I think, on the other side where the food trucks were and next to, it's a toss up, right? You're either next to the food truck, so you have the shade of the food truck helping you, and then you have all the noise from the generators or whatever, or you sit in the sun for 4 hours. I would rather have the noise and sit in the shade.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Well, from the
problem.
standpoint of people shopping, they felt like they didn't have to worry about their back getting burnt. They
Right.
could stand there and look at some stuff. So
Right. So I would like to see that changed, but
Yeah.
they're gonna take all the feedback around it.
And then maybe as we go further on in the season, it'll be a little cooler, a little warmer, or something, but. Okay, the next thing on this agenda is the shade structure. Now, that is something that came up at our little farm, where we had farm, whatever the thing was. And, the only place we really need is a small dog park. Big dog park doesn't need more structure. And according to Danny and what he's been telling me, I'm gonna let him go into this a little bit, very expensive. Go ahead.
I think we were discussing, in fact, I did a walkthrough with Brian Causey from Exquisite. And in fact, you were there with me before you arrived. We were talking about shade structure.
We talked a little bit after I got there.
Yeah, so for a cheaper route, we could look at maybe umbrellas, or we could also look at maybe a little bit more trees. Just not the big giant monster trees, but just something that would give some kind of shade. Just to be a little bit cheaper, because I think that when I looked into shade structure, we have a better, with the budget we have now. Now, let's say maybe in a year we get a little bit more. We still would not have enough to cover that, because the shade structure you would need at the small dog park,
So
it's a lack.
what shade structure would we need, and
Well, it just, so I looked at the different varieties of it, right? It depends on, like, measurement wise, I would have to go out there and measure and see where we want this shade structure. And then I could look further into that. But I know that when I looked at agility equipment, we had enough. Shade structure, not so much.
so they're putting shade structures in at some of the playgrounds.
They just
Yeah.
put one in.
Yeah, can you give me, or can you get for us for next time, a ballpark on the size of the shade structure and how much it costs? Because I will fully admit, I don't have kids, I'll pay attention to what happens at the playground. That's just,
So I make a suggestion for a cheap, portable solution. We've all seen the canopies, you go to football, baseball games, soccer games, so people, they bring out the little package, the accordion style canopy, set it up, and it's like a 12 by 14 or.
like the 10x10s that we use it.
Yeah, but it's just simply the canopy on top with the 4 legs. You can get some that are 12 by 12, 14 by 14, whatever dimension you want. Get them for under $200 a piece, and you can set up 1 or 2 of them. The only difficult thing is have maybe someone set it up or tear it down at certain times. You can leave it up for a while, during the weather. But at certain points where it's gonna be stormy, this and that, then obviously we'll make sure it's down. But it's easily portable and stack it up, put it away somewhere. It doesn't take a lot of,
That's probably something to look into, but we'd have to talk to Parks and Rec about their time, putting it up, taking it down, you know what I mean? Because they would have to factor that labor into it whenever it needs to.
Is that a structure that anyone could take down? Like, let's
Yeah.
say some kids go over there
yeah.
and they're messing with it.
The only other alternative you can do is you can get the metal bars and almost like having bench where you're got, let's just say 2 big gigantic U's
Okay.
in front of each other. And you can have your material, wherever you want it to be, where you just pull it with the cable right on over the top of it, secured in place.
Mhm.
And then you can take it down the same way. And you can have those poles be in cement, like a cement block, or so you can set up holes in the ground where you just come out, put it in the ground, then you take it out, whatever. There's cheap forms you can do to create a shade structure.
Okay.
And that would certainly be easier.
So I would want to see more information on that. What it looks like, how it would look in the dog park, whether or not we could get it approved to be in the dog park, and how we could keep it from being trashed and destroyed by random people.
I think that is a great idea, and I was wondering if it wouldn't be real practical to do that for a limited time while we plant trees and they can get a good growth. So I think trees are the natural look that you would want in that dog park, no matter what. I mean, it's just.
So we talked with Brian about trees, and he said there was 100 gallon, no, it was more than that. Or what was the big trees he talked about that were like mostly fully grown that he could put in?
They were 100, 150.
We had-
It was large.
I mean,
We had a conversation standing in the large dog
on the
park
large part, it was that.
of the trees, but I can't remember what the size.
Well, I'm gonna suggest
They
we
would
just
provide.
table this until
Okay.
a further meeting, we can get more information on it.
Yeah.
But I do want it live, so we'll table it.
Table, okay.
We don't have enough information. It's something that we really need to look
Yeah,
into.
and at some point where you do have some trees planted, you could always tie up canopies from
Yeah,
one tree to another.
like the things.
Yeah. And it's easy to come up and down. That might be something good for long term, but by also utilizing the trees once again.
It's something this future, the next committee is gonna have to really look into because I think it's something that's gonna be required.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's tabled. Dog park update. Start with Danny.
Okay, so as we all know, the sod replacement project, it's
Pictures,
it's ahead of schedule. Small dog park, if you guys have not seen it,
so
it looks great.
Yeah.
I walked it twice, because I'm looking into getting more cameras on this side of the dog park. So I have them over here, but I need them out here. So I did a walkthrough with, Dom, who is the IT director, with a bunch of vendors that are pricing, quoting for these new cameras. Well, I walked to the small dog park, grass was great.
upgrading the cameras.
We are upgrading cameras, that would be part of it, but my goal is to have the cameras on this side, one camera facing each exit, so I can tell when someone says, lady in pink, Jill, walks through, I can look and go, oh, this lady clocked into this dog park at this time.
She's on our committee.
Either
I know.
either that or.
Lady in black walked in, I'm like, okay, hold on, lady in black, I can't see her that well, now I can see her. So I walked through, it looked beautiful. Then we had a walkthrough with Jill and Brian.
Yeah,
It looks
so I took pictures, the grass, this is, yeah, y'all can't see because I didn't bring a big thing. The sod is actually getting all the little roots coming through. It looks like it's doing really well. It looks fabulous.
Happy grass.
It is super green.
Yeah.
water's there.
Awesome.
This is the small dog side. It looks really, really good. They're gonna cut it no shorter than 3.5 inches, 3.5. So that should keep a decent like length on it.
That's incredibly important.
Yes.
Or burns it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
In addition, as they start to come in, they're gonna do, some treatments on it to make sure that like the pesticides aren't, you know,
Killing the grass.
Yeah, like in Celebration Avenue Boulevard, they treated the grass and killed what's.
brown. Yeah, anyway, it looks really, really good. Then we walked over into the, big dog side. We talked about, do you want me to talk about the sand pit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we talked about this. We talked about the sand pit. And we're gonna have a meeting to discuss the layout of the sand pit. They have 18 timbers so that we could go 2 or 3 deep. I think they're 8-foot timbers or,
Here in the tide.
yeah. So anyway, we're gonna lay it out so that we can, Brian's gonna bring them there. I know I'll be there, Paul can be there. We haven't talked about a specific date yet, I don't think.
I will be emailing everybody this date so that I can get everyone's.
It'll be early April,
And you're all welcome to come.
yeah.
It's going to be before, not to cut you off, Paul, it's going to be before the dog park, the large dog park closes on the 8th. So it's going to be from April 1st through 7th. We got to pick a date.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pretty much insist it's where the dogs dig right now.
That's not it's not the location, it's the spot.
Oh, yeah, but I said, I don't care how big he does it, that's you guys decide that, I know where.
Yeah, I agree fully on that as well, but it's a matter of making sure that it goes out far enough to cover.
It's nothing's gonna grow there anyway.
There's also a sprinkler head, that will have to be moved.
So if we move it at this certain location, he's going to have to move the sprinkler head. So that's why he's thinking maybe we'll move it this way. So that's what we got to decide.
So we'll go to the dog park, lay it all out, see what it looks like, make it the best.
All right, right now, we're looking for April 8th as the date where we'll swap. And at that point, the little dogs will get the 4 days and the big dogs will get 3 days. And we are still shooting for April 10th to reopen, which will get into
May.
something.
No, maybe.
May.
I'm sorry, May 10th to reopen. I'm gonna really let Brian off the hook a little bit here, and I'm gonna say, if it can't be the 10th, it's gotta be the 12th. I don't care. I just want it right. That's the important thing. We're still shooting for the 10th. I think we'll probably be closer to Easter than May 10th.
Right, but we're not gonna back the date up at all, because we want to give that
Not
grass
until-
as long as possible to root and to really entrench itself.
Yeah.
So,
Especially over the side.
All right, the next thing on this menu basically is a nexus to this, and that is the review for the grand reopening.
Yeah, we want to do a grand reopening. It's the 7th
That one's open.
anniversary of the dog park.
Say 2016, we moved it up, okay.
I don't know how many.
Combine the
That was
anniversary
the strong
and the grand opening.
But we want to do a thing. So we were talking about, at Food Truck Friday, we were talking about, seeing if Scoops would come. Maybe we'll do, we'll buy some extra stickers and we'll give those out to the first 50 people or whatever that bring their dogs. We'll do it on a Saturday morning. We'll just make it a big, like, fun grand reopening.
Do we have social media profiles for the dog park?
What do you mean, social media profiles?
Like
Everything,
Instagram, Facebook?
everything goes through the town hall.
Okay.
There's an unofficial there's an unofficial dog park Facebook page that's run by people who don't even live in this town. So, and not for nothing, they don't really know how to use Facebook.
I do feel like we might be missing a market with not having an Instagram.
I agree. But that goes all through town hall, so we can't officially have anything. And they do, town hall has an Instagram page, and I know there's putting stuff on it.
Yeah, so
We just have to send it to them.
I think what we should do also is like maybe some sort of like photo booth prop. Like, just like a background that says like celebration unleashed or whatever.
We can
And-
absolutely do
And
something.
then you can send town hall all of the.
Good idea.
Because people sign a waiver,
The town hall can come take the picture.
also that, but like, let's be
There's
real.
always somebody that takes pictures of all of the other events.
Right, and I think that would also be a great, like, to the whatever the largest celebration distro list is. Hey, the dog park is back and better than ever, like, don't forget to, like, here's a link to the application, drop off your vaccine forms, like, all of that.
One of the things that we also talked about was possibly purchasing some T-shirts to say, a proud celebration dog park mom or proud.
Yeah, we look at that stuff that said like celebration dog park mom.
Yeah.
Celebration dog- That, I think we'll do that for the next incarnation of
I like
like.
that.
Of
I
like
also feel like those would sell at like any of the like Pucks and Pints and.
Oh, absolutely.
Food for Friday and all of that. Also, baseball caps would sell really well.
You will be surprised. So we had baseball caps for a very long time.
Did it say dog mom or dog dad?
No, they said celebration unleashed. on-
That's
That's
the,
good.
the dog mom, dog dad, and then you could have it say dog mom, and then on the side say celebration unleashed, like
Yeah,
that.
or have the logo and then have dog mom, dog dad.
Yeah.
Right,
There's
there's,
that, because people aren't gonna buy it if it's just the logo, they're gonna buy it if it's just dog mom.
either way, we'll have time to discuss that because we can't solve all the things.
You can also send out a little survey too, just get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that ties into my multiple requests to be able to send to just the people who are,
Yeah.
I ask almost every meeting for there to be a way to just send an email officially through town hall to the people who are registered in the dog park.
Yeah, that should be easy enough.
It's a table in the database.
So the shirts, that's a good idea with the shirts and the caps. So we're looking at dog mom, dog dad.
Proud dog mom, dog dad.
That's a good one, okay.
I would also add just like
I
dog
like
parent too, just in case.
Dog parent,
I'll mock up some.
that's a pretty good idea,
Yeah,
that'd be a great idea.
put that on the next agenda.
Discussing future.
Well,
Merchandise
all
opportunities.
right, that brings up a point. Is the next time that we meet, will it be this committee?
It will be this-
It'll be this committee.
Yeah.
We have one more meeting.
We'll do the resolution, the 2025-2026 resolution on what we want to add for the next committee. But we can still discuss what we want to, like shirts and all that.
I want this, I like this idea. We talked about it the other night and I thought it was a good idea. And I really think the hats and the shirts would sell quicker than even what we have.
I think if we do the shirts though, we might want to look at like a pre-order kind of a situation, like they did with like Celebrationopoly and stuff. That way we don't have,
It just gives you an idea of the interest and.
yes, and we don't have 15 shirts that are size extra small and
Right.
none that are sized for
And
me.
we could all get a shirt and then people see, where'd you get that?
Right.
Yeah, and they tend to run small, so more than likely you're gonna have
Right.
bigger size. Okay, that's excellent. I like that.
Other swag item ideas just from, I did the Pet Alliance thing in Lake Eola. Obviously like poop bag holders are huge, but Orlando Health had miniature containers of paw wipes,
Mhm.
which were really cool. And it looks like the container of sanitary wipes in the hospital. But it's like safe for dogs. So like if
Right, it's
Good.
good challenge for dogs. It's
Yeah.
not-
just something that was like really interesting and something I would have paid for too, so it's like $5.
Yeah, it's stuff to look at. We're kind of limited in what vendors we can use for things. Because otherwise they have, it's a vendor the town hasn't used. We have to go through their vending process to. do-
Trust me, I work for Disney, I understand that.
We're going back to the agenda.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. No,
No, it's good. It's good conversation. Good time.
next dog, oh, wait a minute, that next dog park meeting date. Now, we wanted to see how many people were coming tonight. So we got this big old.
Yeah, so we.
I think we can go back to the smaller place, still have it at the 5:30, so
So
go back to the smaller,
if I can comment,
yeah.
I didn't even, obviously I want to be here. I would not have known if Katie didn't tell me earlier today. And she wouldn't have known if you didn't tell her at like the park yesterday or something.
Yeah.
And I think this Like, I think there needs to be some communication, and I don't know, how-
All of
it might be
them.
in like the.
It's
like
in
the
all of the Monday nights.
magazine.
Dan,
But not
something.
everybody gets those.
Like, I
And
literally had to call town hall today to get added onto it, because it's not an
Right.
automatic process to be part of that, even
We're
when you
getting
register.
Monday nights.
Right.
Yeah,
Even when you register, they were not aware that there's a whole separate system you have to go through until I talked to them today. So it's gonna get hopefully fixed in the future, but
We know, because like,
I'm sorry, Paul, was that, what was your, what's going on with Monday Madness?
email communication is not automatically signed up for when you go to town hall to register, when you join as a new resident celebration, when you join the dog park. None of that is an automatic registration, and there's no way that you can, as a user, go and sign yourself up online. It has to be done at town hall. So I think that email communication that we might be relying on is not as far reaching as we might hope. And I think last month, when we had that huge turnout, the change from last month to this month is that was communicated well. There was a sign up at the dog park on both sides, stating exactly the date and the time. Whereas today, if Paul didn't happen to mention that it was, and then Katie didn't happen to reach out to me, you wouldn't have had any audience.
So before we get this corrected here, if I start putting the dog park meetings up in the bulletin board, do you think that would help a lot?
absolutely.
But the bulletin board's nice. I think it's even better if it's more in your face, like on the gate. Because the
Yeah.
bulletin board gives a lot of outdated information and it's kind of faded. And in like a shadowy place, so I don't think that gets a lot of visibility because it's not really used. I mean, if it was used more, it might, but I think having it when you enter is the true key to getting people aware that this is happening. I think if you did that for next month, maybe, I mean, the grass is getting fixed, so maybe not, but at least like people will know about it, and then you can get a true count of how many people you should be expecting. Because I don't think today is a really good count for that.
so all valid points, and I'll agree completely that they need to do better with communication, as we've said for many, many years. There's also multiple places that you can find it. It's in Monday Matters, which, as you say, you didn't get because you're not automatically in. It's also in the magazine for whatever
I
that's.
stopped getting months ago. I don't get it anymore.
And it's also listed on the Celebration in Florida website, under all of the meeting information.
Yeah, I mean,
Because that's how you know.
If you
like,
read
what
it
got.
through, but if you're asking people to wade through the other meetings,
I'm agreeing that your point is valid, but I'm also saying that there has to be some like, oh, I want to go, let me go look for a meeting invite.
I think I disagree just because people are gonna like, it requires it to be easily accessible and it's not easily accessible if it's buried in an email that only half of the members get. It's not easily accessible if you have to dig through the website. If you post it every month, a week ahead of time on the gate to the park, people will show up.
Okay,
I just.
I disagree with that, but we'll try it, because I'm willing to try anything.
Just talking about communication, today I'm at Wolfgang's all the time. And one of the employees mentioned, about the dog park and everything. And she said, I wish that we knew more things that were going on in the dog park because people would be interested. So although a lot of people don't live here, is there any little niche that you can have at Wolfgang's with all these people coming in and out during the day?
So that's a great point, because Cindy has offered many times to be part of things
Yes.
and has actually been turned down. So I don't know what the answer to that
Okay.
is,
Okay, so okay,
but that's also been over 10 years worth of
Okay. Yeah.
lack of communication.
so you're saying Wolfgang,
Yeah.
what is?
Wolfgang Bakery.
Wolfgang
Thank you,
Bakery,
Wolfgang Bakery.
I was thinking.
On Front
Wolfgang
Street.
too.
Ah, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Pizza?
It's I was thinking of.
So she would like to have more communication about the dog park.
It wasn't the manager, but I've kind
Right.
of gotten to know her and she seems to be very open to what's going on here, although I don't know if she even has a dog, because I know she's so busy. This was one of her coworkers said, I wish we knew more of what was going on with the dog park.
Yeah, she's also very generous at dog park.
Cindy is, anytime I've asked for a donation for anything we've done, she's always provided a gorgeous gift basket.
Yeah.
So I would love to see us appreciate them more.
I
Because-
wonder if that's also something to add to the list of asking them to come to the grand reopening too, and like.
Oh, actually, there
Okay.
are.
Dan, here's an idea. If we have more of these town meetings, we have, it's open forum.
Yeah.
Wonder if we could possibly put 15 minutes in and have guest speakers like her come, like
Okay.
Melania come, you know. Think we would be allowed to do that?
You talking about the forum, or you talking about a meeting like this?
No, a forum.
So I know that we're pushing to do 2 forums a year. So we could do that. I will invite, like Wolfgang, whoever else is that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just give a 15-minute block and keep
Yeah, we could
people
do that.
that listen to us.
I think one good thing to do, to bring to one of the forums is, I forget the lady's name, that's a dog trainer, but
Melania,
Yeah.
Tom's, yeah.
you know, little helpful tips on training your dog or keeping your dog disciplined.
Yeah,
Just
you can ask.
things to do, well, yeah, some people just will come to hear that too.
Yeah, Mark, you and I can translate for her.
Yeah. I'm gonna start to learn Italian again, I've got my daughter.
I'll tell you what, this is a surprise. This is good. I'm happy with this. Anything else anybody want to bring up before I make a little statement?
I just want to say one thing, and it kind of goes with what you're saying about communication. Now, when we had the last big hoopla here with it, a lot of people here, right? They know that we meet monthly. A lot of them are not taking the initiative to come.
So
People will show up when there's big things to gripe about. They won't show up for anything else.
I don't totally disagree, but when you put a meeting at 3 o'clock and a lot of the audience has 9 to 5s, it's a.
Well, same thing, that's why we changed, so
Yeah.
the people that want to come, they should have enough common sense. to Go, when's the next meeting, what times, I want to be there.
I feel like that's a lot to ask of people.
It's really not, it's no different than looking at in the old days, looking at a TV guide to see what's gonna be on TV. Now go to Netflix. What's gonna
So,
go on,
if I
just go to cable, what's gonna go on the cable?
If I can make a
All this
suggestion,
information alone.
if it's acceptable to the committee, I'd be happy to put the meeting notes on the gates. I'm happy to do that.
Wait,
I think that has to be done by.
No, I should
That's what we
Yeah.
can put it on. If that's something, so. I believe I have it on the, I gotta double check. I think I already have us booked for Heritage for the 15th. If you guys want to try this again, have it at Heritage Hall.
Absolutely.
I'll put the meeting minutes, I mean, not meeting minutes, no, you can get that online, but I'll put the dog park meeting, the date and the location. I won't put the agenda that you can get online, but I'll put the location at each gate
Yeah.
and in the bulletin board. And we'll see what happens after that. And I will have them post again.
Yeah.
Each week. And so we'll see.
I
So
think
let's
you get
test this out.
You'll have a better sense of how,
Okay.
interested the community is. And I think, like, personally, I think there's no harm. in it. Like, there's no cost there, I mean, unless you have to go to City Hall to get labor, then maybe, but there's no harm.
There's your labor right there, so I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a cost to all of it always, but.
So,
As well.
If we're back on, if I'm selected to come back on the committee, one of the things I think I'm going to do, or what I suggest, is that we have in our first meeting with the new committee members, we have an open forum. People come in, meet your members. You know, I personally will buy cookies and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. We just have something for them to lunch on. But like,
Italian kid.
we want to get out to the community. We want them to know who we are, what we do. We don't meet behind closed doors. It's communication has always been a problem. Absolutely.
Also, why I think we need the.
Let me finish my thought, please. Okay, so communication is definitely a problem. Second problem that we have is people don't have the slightest idea what the hell dog committee is. They think we're in charge of getting bags to pick up poop. And it's more than that. But Mark is relatively new. These two ladies have been here and have worked unbelievably for the 4 years that I've been on, Bob. And people don't know, they can walk by us on the street and say, who the hell is that? Or it's a nice dog, but it means nothing. But I want to get it out there. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Word of mouth though is the only way I have.
Yep.
And I will continue to do that. Anything else anybody want to say about that?
I also feel like for the new committee members, a T-shirt that says, ask me about the dog park or whatever would, like, especially for like events like Food Truck Friday or whatever, like, or even just a button. Like you could get like one of those big button pins and whenever there's someone working a booth or whatever, like, ask me about the dog park would be helpful too, because
Well,
like you said,
definitely,
there's
it's
a lot
about
of.
the individuals a lot better for sure.
We do more, we accomplish more than any other. More positive things
Mhm.
than any other committee. We raise our own money most of the time. But, and I'm proud of what this committee has done over the last 4 years. Yes, ma'am.
Would we want to be at farmer's market once a month?
So we have to find out if we can be at the farmer's market. Looking at the website for the Celebration Farmers Market, they take very few like things. For some reason, they say most of it has to be like handmade kind of, but we don't do any of that, right? We're informational only, and they actually state on their page, no information only. So we need to, somebody needs to contact Lexon, and I don't know who that is, to say, hey, can we have a tent there? And if so, you know, what do we need to do to have it there? They're probably gonna wanna charge us, so. Cause it's Lexon.
I got an idea that kind of accomplish the same thing, won't cost us anything other than toner and paper. But some of us may know some of the people, some of the vendors there. If we had a little display, dog park, whatever information you want out, that they could put for patrons to see, that would be a handout point. And definitely get more people that are hanging around the tent reading, looking, that might increase sales, I don't know. But it'll help create awareness. So if we can have 2 or 3 vendors out there passing out or have our material available.
I was always surprised that there's not an information tent at the farmer's market. I just walked in on Sunday. And there's nothing to say, hey, this is Celebration, here's the things that the community offers, here's the things that the
So there
shop
should be a
offers.
celebration community tent there.
Right, but I don't know if the reason there's not is because it's on Lexington streets and it's all of, you know what I mean? So I don't know if there's a way to partake in something that's Lexington's without paying them some.
They own the
They're not real
streets.
friendly.
Yeah, they own the center street and then the front street. Which is why they can close it for things like the Exotic Car Festival and all of December.
I wonder if the answer is partnering with Wolfgang in that case, and like, cause they're right there.
Yeah.
So like set it, like, I bet they would let us set up a table outside with dog park information.
I don't know if they let us do it outside, but they might let us have a table inside in the air conditioning. For the people who are coming in who have dogs.
Yeah,
So they might do that.
At least at their counter, the flyers there,
Yeah,
and a little
yep,
plastic holder.
not too.
Yeah.
They do have some of that too. There's
They
some
do, because I have my
cards up
photography
there.
cards there.
Yes, other cards up there and everything. I just think that we're missing a big opportunity. If we could just even, I mean, I've got like these beautiful pictures of Walt Disney with his first dogs. You know, just
Oh, I
something
think
that,
those immediately.
I mean, the story of him and his dogs is phenomenal. And it's so endearing. Here we are at Celebration. Here's Walt with his famous dogs that he grew up with. Just something that just goes, oh, wow, look at that. You see the dog parks here too. You know, this is a dog.
I have it April 15th.
Over
With them.
1,500 dogs, right, you know, here in
Yeah.
the division, and probably more. That was the last count. So it's kind of like, we are dogs. And to think that it's so hard to move into it beautifully and gracefully seems to be kind of sad, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, time to talk about the next meeting. Next meeting from the dates I'm getting is April 15th, which is a Tuesday, 5:30 to 6:30. And Danny wants to do it here again
Yeah,
give more people a chance to come. So
Mhm.
that's, if you guys want to put that on your calendars.
I will put it on the dog park gates too. So I'll put that location.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. With that, if there's any other questions, if not, I'll take a motion to adjourn. You got a question?
Yes.
I want to ask about, again, now that we have an IT guy,
Mm-hmm.
getting a separate email list again of the people who are registered for the dog.
Yeah. Okay.
So once we have that, we can do things like put together a little newsletter that says, here's our next meeting, and it goes out to all
Yeah.
the people. And if they want to opt out of it, they can opt out of it, but then not being informed is on them. Like,
Okay.
that's why I keep asking about, and I write the article, so it's just as easy to, oh, that's the other thing that's coming up. So we do have the article for the April magazine is going to be on how to fill out an incident report. How to fill it out, what you see on a camera, because everybody thinks you see like crystal, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not fabulous either.
And maybe really
And there's no
constant.
sound, maybe like that. So it's how to fill it all out and what the process is when an incident report is filled out. Because I don't think people know. And people were like, there was a thing and I didn't report it. Okay, we can't fix it. We don't know.
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn,
Second.
and I have a second, and then the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You guys, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thanks for showing
Yeah,
up.
thank you.
Good information, by the way. Don't cut me. Thank you.
And